So the season finale is here and gone. It dropped at midnight. It is now 1:05. We pretty much press play at midnight. We wanted to get this done and up as fast as humanly possible. And, okay, first thing I can say here is that if you're coming here for answers, we don't have any. This will be spoiler discussion, obviously. So for anyone who hasn't watched it yet, go watch it. And come back. I feel like this, while we do get some answers, this leaves me with probably more questions than answers. Mm-hmm. And definitely not thrilled with reveals and what happened here.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of things make sense, and we'll talk about that. So, we get to finally say it. I mean, okay, we had guessed pretty much every main character was the killer at some point.
Right.
So I'm sure somewhere along the way, I know we did. We're like, oh, maybe Margot's the killer.
Right.
Now, and she is Margot. It's like fucking playing the game of Clue, right? And just get that final thing you pull. It's Margot. Yeah, this just doesn't work for me. I'm displeased with the trajectory because I was into it, and then we started to lose interest, and I was like, well, maybe it'll end strong, and I'll have like a bigger, better opinion. No, that didn't happen for me. I have so many questions that I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I get that. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I mean, I agree. I think that I feel like all of the reveals happen in the last, 10 minutes or so of this episode, which is way too little time, in my opinion. I think it should have had much more build up, maybe even, 3 episodes before the end at least, having some more clues as to who it was going to be. So I don't like that. I feel like it was just rushed. That's the feeling I got, was that it was all really quick. And I mean, we both thought, and you said it first, but maybe they're setting up a season 2,
maybe.
Which I don't know. Based on the very last shot of this episode, I could see a season 2 because I don't understand what that shot means.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, I don't know. Margot, it makes sense in a way that she's the killer, and how it's explained. I sort of get it, but
I don't think it lines up. I don't
think it lines up perfectly.
I think that while she was the person that was truly in love with Lennon, and she would definitely be pretty pissed off, and she's mentally unstable. I just don't see enough evidence to support that she is suspicious that Allison is Lennon throughout.
Yeah.
Not to the degree where she's killing people.
Yeah, and that's kind of.
I could see her maybe thinking that this girl's high-key sus. But without, pure confirmation, she's really going to just start going around and killing people.
Right.
And, putting, I know what you did. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. It's not until Dylan comes into your fucking house, 10 minutes before you fucking reveal that you're the killer, that you're, told for sure. And when it's confirmation for her, but the way she reacts to it is almost as if this is the first fucking time she's hearing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's... I mean, she's supposed to be an actress, right? Whenever, the cop comes in and, she obviously reacts she's very fake, and that's kind of her whole thing. So I think she could conceal that to a degree, but I
already knew.
Yeah, but
she didn't.
But that's the thing. If there had been some scene or some moment where she was talking to Allison and saying "Oh, remember when we did this" or whatever, and Allison's "Oh, haha," having bad reactions that are just off.
That would have been played in this scene to give us that clarity of why she thinks or knew this. Right. Play it back. Have it be in the second episode, and then it's just bookmarked there for this, Saw type ending where it shows all the little bits of information that were piecing the puzzle together. I can tell you this ending and explanation is so fucking rushed that I truly believe that a decision was made post-production to say, there's so many questions here. I think we're gonna have to do some near fourth wall break where Margot comes on during the credits and explains all of the details of how and why things were done.
Yeah, I hated that.
Like I saw it and I was like,
hated
that's
it
just
so much.
fucking lazy,
Absolutely.
last minute. Like they're trying to play it like it's hip and it's of the time, and it's like, you know, she's leaving that message for Allison.
Right.
You know.
Which is also like.
But why would she be recording that?
Yeah.
She wouldn't. She would not be confessing.
Right.
That would be insane for her to do, especially as a social media figure. She knows better than to record footage and get on, you know, to have it used against her. So for me, it is absolutely, I do not believe that scene was planned. I do believe that they shot this and were like, people are going to have too many questions.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something. And they brought the actress in and they were like, hey, you need to tell the audience what happened. I've never seen a movie in my life, a mystery movie or TV series, where during the end credits of the last episode, the killer comes on and explains all of the like things that that answer questions you might have.
Yeah, and that's like this show is primarily a mystery, and the fun of mysteries is that you can, you know, figure
Piece
out
them together.
what it is while
Sure.
you're watching it, you know, or at the very least, if you don't get it at the end when you have the aha reveal, then you see, you know, all of the things line up and you're like, oh, okay, I see now. That I did not feel that at all with this ending, and her coming on and just answering all of the, like, or not all of them, but a lot of the questions is really lame. And it's very insulting to the viewers too, because it's like, we didn't really plan it out so that you could discover it with us, which is the fun. Like, we just sort of...
It felt like an audience Q&A.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like like a live show done after the premiere of this, you know, finale. They like did a little live Q&A after, and we're like, you can talk to the actors, and they'll tell them, like, you know, maybe they'll even act in their character to do it. And be like, well, how'd you do this? And it's like, well, I took the phone and then I, you know, programmed it to. It just feels very retconned.
Yes.
You know, that's the way that scene felt to me. It's not even a scene. I hate to even act like it's a part of the show. It feels like such an afterthought.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. As I said, I don't buy the motivation enough. I get it. Okay, I shouldn't say the motivation. I guess I can buy it. I mean, I bought plenty of other things that are, you know, the same. It's not so much that. It's the absolute nature of her conviction.
Right.
Like, I'm sure that this person... No, you're not.
She's not. She's
no,
obviously
you're not.
Waffling on it, even in the end, like you were saying.
But I guess she's unstable.
That's the thing, right? But that's like, I think the motivation makes sense. She's in love with Lennon. Like, she would be able to tell differences, and she is unstable, sure, so maybe she would do something crazy, but I still feel like that's like just a cop-out. You know, like, just because she's unstable doesn't mean that, you know, things aren't going to make sense to, you know, some level for, like, why she does things. And
it's also very convenient to me that, like, every fucking character is helping her along the way in her reveal. She's like, oh, Dylan's the one that put the fucking goat's head in your room as a prank. And then my mom found out, and she's the one that said, pin it on Clara. And then my, you know, bodyguard fucking walked in on me. And I was like, I'm going to tell everyone you're fucking my dad. So he was cool with it and wanted to, like, hide the bodies. And it's like, she's been caught by, like, everybody. And everybody's like, I'm on your side. Let's do this. Like,
right. And she's
come on.
she's wealthy, and I get that, but there's only so much. It's not like she's that wealthy that she can buy people off. But you know what I mean? Like her power pull, like it doesn't make that much sense to me. Why
it's just
they
too
would go along with
convenient.
it. And
It's
very
too last
convenient.
minute.
Yeah. But I also like, so there's things that aren't explained with the cult. Like I don't understand.
I don't understand
anything
any of the
with that.
No.
And so all this talk about the
Completely
prophecy, and obviously the very last scene with Riley opening her eyes because they kept
Did
her
that
body
happen?
in evidence.
It has to have happened.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Right?
that happened. So
why are the
those
cops
things-
keeping her body in evidence like that? They didn't bury her? Like they haven't done the fucking like autopsy and got the info on her enough to put her away? Like they just keep her in a
Unless
freezer?
the police force is in the cult too somehow.
No, it's a
But
police
it's not
evidence
that, right?
lockup.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fucking 100 people going in and out of there. When
It's
they-
weird.
She's like just right there. She's
Yes.
like standing up.
Yeah,
Because
because she's
they had her on a meat
like,
hook. Is it frozen?
It's because she's like solidified from the
but
honey.
she wouldn't just stand.
No, she wouldn't. But it makes no sense why her body would still be there.
But she
those
fucking opens her
She
eyes.
opens her eyes, and so that's kind of why I think that potentially there could be. I mean, there's multiple I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, right?
Sure.
So I think that the potential for another season is there with explanations into the cult, and obviously whatever the fuck happened with Riley, and now we have Allison and Margot, that are kind of, they know each other's dark secrets. So I think that they could potentially build something around that, but I don't know that I'm very excited for it because it was just a big letdown.
It has to. I mean, there has to be a season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there really has to be. The way that they leave this off, there's so many things that to me are just so underdeveloped
Yes.
and so unexplored and so confusing. And her opening her eyes is a fucking tease, right? And Dylan's got the Bible. How the fuck he would
Right.
get that into prison? You don't take your belongings into prison. That's not how that works.
No, they
So how
don't.
the fuck did he get that in there with him?
Yeah.
Like, who knows? But he went over and he got it, and then Dylan throughout is talking about like how he's setting people free
Yes.
and how he's gonna help set Lennon free. He meant to kill her.
Right.
Like setting people free,
I-
or does he take the Bible and set them free with words? He sets them free
I take it as either,
because he says he set people free.
but he hasn't killed anybody.
So he takes the
Clara
bugs and
killed
put them in their
herself.
head, and that's what sets them free after death. But
I guess.
you'd have
I
to
think
be
it's
dead.
I think he's like like a religious cult nutcase, honestly, and I think that
He is,
for
100%.
him, at least the way I was taking a lot of what he was saying this episode was that setting people free was like telling the truth, because he was telling the dad to tell the truth, and obviously Margot and Alice, and he wanted them to confess.
But he
So-
talked about how he set
Clara free.
her, but also Lennon. He also said that somewhere.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I set her free."
Yeah.
And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, like you wouldn't understand, or never mind,
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So I don't
But
know.
he didn't set her
kill
free
them.
because she. Well, I don't fucking know.
It doesn't. It's It's
The
confusing.
cult stuff is super, super bizarre. The mom comes home and then she wants the Bible. That whole scene with her and her daughter is really fucked up
Oh
and
my
sad,
God,
and
yeah.
just everyone in this show's insane.
Yes.
Like pretty much
That's kind of-
everyone's nuts.
Yeah. Which I don't know. It kind of sucks because it's like usually as an audience member you have one character. You
To
can
root
sometimes
for?
but like you can sometimes relate. I get that you can relate to insane characters and like fucked up characters, but you usually have like one character that you're like, okay, like maybe they have bad tendencies, but like morally they're in the right place or whatever, right? Like they're the straight person, like they're trying to figure things out. I don't feel like anybody in this show is that.
If
Like,
I was rooting for anyone in this show, by the end of this episode, I was rooting for no one.
yeah, no,
Right? When Allison / Lennon
yeah.
fucking points her finger at Dylan
Oh
and is
my
like, he's the
God.
one that said, I out loud was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it makes
Because she wants to hide her identity that much? Mm-hmm. Really? Like, you didn't think Dylan wouldn't cover for you to some degree?
no. I mean, he wanted.
I mean, he's
to
gonna
tell
go
the
in,
truth.
show their...
He was like, she won't hurt you now. Like you can tell the truth, but she doesn't want to tell the truth because she likes being Lennon. She likes this assumed personality now that she has. So
Just the point, like, pointing the finger at Dylan to me just... Yeah, I guess I don't know. I didn't like it in the slightest in the moment. I was so like annoyed and taken aback by it. You could tell it was coming because of the pause. It was like, oh no, they're
She's
gonna do this.
it, yeah.
And then when she said it, I was like, what in the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I think at this point they're all just nuts. Like she's all in on Margot. And to the point where it seems like they're in a relationship at the
Yeah.
end. I mean, they're like, she's
They're
like calling her
together.
babe, and they're like walking off in the sunset together. Like they're a couple now.
Yeah.
And she even tells her, like, I don't care what your name is. I've never loved anyone more than you. Like when she was gonna kill her.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's the world's greatest love story. What did she say? Craziest love story? What did she
Greatest
say?
love story of the century or something.
Oh yeah, whatever the fuck. So, yeah, she gets stabbed by this girl. They're meant to be, I guess.
I mean, they're both
She got
psychotic
yeah.
and fucked up, so.
But
yeah.
was Margot fucked up before Alice? But as I said before, I just don't see enough strong evidence to support that Margot ever was suspicious. Very, very little.
Yeah.
Very, very to kill multiple people, to commit so much murder.
Yes. Just to get her to confess, too. Because that's what she said, too. She was like, after Johnny died, like, I don't understand how you couldn't have come forward. So she was killing. I mean, some people she was killing to cover up other things. She was killing people so that she would confess. Which is like, there's so many other ways you could get her to tell you, like, I'm not actually Lennon, than killing people.
Oh, 100%.
So, but it is just played off as, like, Margot is a psychopath, right? Like, she's narcissistic, fake, attention-seeking, and, just fucked.
Yeah, the ending feels like the writers didn't know and decided this is the way we're going last minute. Like there really isn't any clues to that it's Margot throughout.
No.
Like there's legit nothing.
The one clue I would say is in the last episode where she's feeling her scars and she says, "You have them too."
Sure.
Right? And
sure.
that's why
that's
she
where you
says
were
it.
like,
Yeah.
Like I think she's her. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. She kind of says it while she's drifting off, so she's not really realizing she's saying it out loud. That's fine. But that's the only indication at the last second of the 7 of 8 episodes.
Yeah.
That's no. Shows like this. They should be laying the groundwork, leaving these little clues. That's why I love the Saw movies so much, right? It's throughout they're saying little things that you don't pick up on. But then when they do the big reveal at the end and they play those little clips, you're like, oh shit! Like it was there all along. Why didn't I fucking get that? Why didn't I pick up on that? That is not even slightly what happens in this show at all.
Not at all.
And I feel like most mysteries, if not all mysteries, need to be able to pull this off. It's all about a mystery. The whole point of a mystery to me is that the audience is playing detective.
Yes.
Right? And so throughout, clues are given. Little bits of information are given. Little tidbits here and there that are like, who left that message? And who did this? And how did that take place? And then little by little, things kind of unfold. I'm telling you, man, this show did just not do that with Margot.
No.
I just don't see it.
There were none of the breadcrumbs there, and it's fine to have other characters be under suspicion and red herrings and everything, but there still should have been a trail to follow for the viewer that led back to Margot, even if, like you said, we didn't catch it in the moment, but at the end it's like, oh fuck, there it was. Like, that makes sense. Did not happen. They didn't do that. So
the thing that Dylan is reading in jail to them is about what does it say? It has like a specific line that it kind of
like
focuses.
the rebirth.
Rebirth, thank you. So like he's reading that, and that's like the prophecy, and they're all so bought into it. The mom and Clara and Dylan and everybody. And now we still don't know how the hell Lennon's body is preserved.
No.
We're going with the lava tubes?
I mean, we're, I guess, in between the lava tubes and the honey. But she had no honey on her, but...
Like, why is Allison and the dad not more like, why the fuck is she not decomposed?
Yeah.
If
she
the
died
lava
a year
tubes.
ago.
That's it? That's our go-to? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Can people tell me in the comments below? Like, is that a thing? Can people fall into lava tubes and their body be preserved exactly the way it was a year ago? Is that a thing? Can't be.
No.
Their body would get bloated with water
So,
whatever.
With her opening her eyes, though, that's like something supernatural, right? Potentially.
Absolutely.
Either supernatural or like...
Or nothing.
Or they've discovered some like natural, like curative quality in this specific type of honey or whatever. Like that would be the other angle that I feel like they could do. Is like we have medicine. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
It's
like
supernatural to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's scientific to a degree,
Yeah.
but
I just mean, but they're obviously going to take it with supernatural.
This is supernatural, which we had talked about. I had said at some point in here, I was like, I could see this going supernatural with the honey and all that shit, and we sure did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dylan's in prison. He's pissed off. He feels betrayed. Mm-hmm. He knows the truth. We're going to have Riley come back from the dead. That's going to raise some flags. Mm-hmm. Like, what would that season even look like? It would be such a drastically different season than this show was originally. Like, originally, this was just a straightforward mystery. Like a slasher mystery kind of thing, which I was super into. And there were some really cool kills. And then I feel like around episode 5, they just kind of abandoned that.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get another good kill. Like, there were some pretty graphic fucking kills in this. Like, they were pretty cool. And I was like, oh, this could be super sweet. And I'm really into this mystery. And then it just fell apart for me. And, this is a shame. Because a lot of people were, like, shitting on this as a show before it was even released. 'Cause that's what people love to do. Like, I know what you did last summer show. Come on, lame, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. It might be cool. And then we watched the first 4 episodes. And I was like, guys, come on. It's fucking cool. And, like, I was, like, talking people into it. And then here I am kind of eating my words now. Like,
But you don't know, until the end. And
I don't.
Yeah. Some people might be super into it, and maybe, somebody out there has a better explanation.
100%
for things, so.
There's people who are going to be into this.
Well, yeah, and I'm curious what people think
it.
about it, and if maybe we missed things about Margot, like maybe there are clues that we just didn't catch, and if there are, it'd be cool to know what those were.
Yeah.
But at least where I am right now, I'm pretty disappointed in it, and I'm like maybe 50% that they're gonna come out with a season 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll probably check it out. But I'm pretty.
Maybe if the sheriff wasn't constantly getting banged in random places, she could have just done some like basic police work. At the end of this, they're like, "There's just no evidence."
There's blood everywhere covering Margot.
Margot is covered in the mom's blood.
And the way that it's splattered on her face isn't like, oh, I ran over to help Lennon.
No.
Like, it's...
No.
Like, Dexter would have looked at her and been like...
They would have been like, this is an unidentified blood type.
Yes.
And we found more of that blood in the basement of Clara's house.
Yeah.
And they would be like, who the fuck is this mystery person? Mm-hmm. And that person was part of a cult, so they're probably brought in at some point. Maybe her shit's on record. I don't know if that's true or not. And then these guys get duped by a picture frame being switched. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it? The cops are duped by that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is definitely... Like... I don't know. I get it. Like, Allison really did not want her identity revealed. Mm-hmm. She's, as you said, she liked being her sister, I guess. Did she, though? I mean, her life sucked.
Well, it sucks, with everybody dying around her, but potentially now at this point, like, she doesn't have to deal with that, right? Like, they've tied up all the loose ends in their mind. But not if Riley comes back and is like, I know the truth. Right? That's another person to corroborate Dylan.
Yeah.
So.
So did Margot kill... Margot killed everybody?
Yeah.
So she killed the...
Except Clara, who committed suicide.
Yeah, conveniently. And she says that to us in the little recap thing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, and she killed herself, which was convenient. She killed herself. She just put a bag over her head because she didn't want to. She didn't want to be pinned with the murders. So she was just like, fuck it.
And that's their whole cult belief is like the next life will be better. So like she was just
Right.
like, fuck it, might as well.
Right.
No way, I'm just gonna
No
die.
way. Yeah, but so okay, so Margot rigged that really elaborate trap that killed the trashy mom.
Yeah, right. So well, she said that at that point, right, wasn't her mom in on it, and also her bodyguard.
Yeah, her mom wanted to frame him, but
So-
so the bodyguard did it. It's like everyone was like
Assuming
three
that the
killers.
bodyguard
in
did
this?
all of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And then how much of the killing Margot personally did? I mean, you'd think like the bodyguard, like if he's actually out there killing people, like that's pretty fucked.
It's too much. It's
Yeah.
too convenient.
Yeah.
In the last 5 fucking minutes, it's like, oh, my mom helped me, and Dylan helped me, and my bodyguard helped me, and it's too much, man. It's too convenient. I'm not no.
No. Just no.
And then the icing on the fucking cake of this is Riley opening her eyes. The big WTF. What just happened? That's supposed to intrigue me into a second season. That makes me never want to watch the second
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely, right?
But we will. And we'll be
I'll
talking
tell you
about it.
how it is and when it comes out.
Man, I'd like to go back to look at our review of 1 through 4, and we're all just like,
We're like, wow, this show's so
this is
cool.
fun, yeah, it's
Low-key,
cool
high-key
kills
sus.
I like these characters,
Yeah.
and this is where we end, only
And I'm
4
all
episodes
like, I
later.
like Margot. Like, she's funky and fun.
I never liked Margot. That she was a fake bitch the whole time.
I did too, but I mean, like, I liked, you know, I thought she was, like, not quirky, but she was just, like, a believable-ish kind of teen character. Like, the girl that's, you know, fake and, like, wants to do things as a social media influencer. But then I felt like she had some moments of, you know, genuine emotion.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, well, she's got an eating disorder, and, you know, that's sucks. But now I feel like all of that was just entirely acted. Not the eating disorder, but the emotional
Yeah.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, alright, well, hopefully we're higher on other shows.
I'm sure we will be.
Anyways, bedtime. Enjoy, let us know, because I'll be keeping my eyes on how people are liking this. I know a lot of people are liking the show, and we had a lot of people loving the Slumber Party Massacre remake, which we just don't understand at all. But to each their own, that's totally fine. We don't get it, but it's not for us to get. Your tastes are your tastes. Yeah, I mean, explain it to us in the comments.
Yeah.
Make it make sense to us. Other than that, good night, guys.
Bye!